A food delivery driver reported me to the authorities for owning a golden retriever because she thinks that my kind only owns pit bulls and Rottweilers. Sigh. Work was rough today, and all I wanted to do afterward was to sit on the couch and let the TV watch me while eating food not cooked by my own hands. The answer to that? Delivery. Food ordered. I let the dog into the yard to burn some energy and sat camped outside with him while waiting for the delivery. DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, and everyone other than Jehovah's Witnesses has trouble locating my address, strictly relying on GPS, so it's nothing for me to post up and wait outside for when they are close, flag them down, and go back inside for a contactless drop-off. Pertinent details before SHT hits the fan. My neighbor and I share a fence with a doggy door as our pups are super close, and you can bet each time that if my dog is outside, hers will follow for cross-yard playtime. This was the case today, and probably bad judgment on my part to think that I would be able to break up the fun quickly. Both dogs were in the neighbor's yard at the time the notification came through that the driver was pulling up, and I had to call out a few times to get my dog's attention. Neighbor thankfully whistled for her dog, and I had to put on the voice for mine to acknowledge I existed, and then took off running for my door while waving to the driver who by this point was getting out of the car. Pup and I have a game called Runaway, where I will take off yelling, "Runaway," and literally he will chase after me like some human-sized fetch stick. I used this to my advantage until he realized I was putting him inside, but managed to get him through the storm door and close the screen before he could run out. Then realized that I'd left the gate locked like an idiot with the driver standing right outside by this point. I didn't have a mask on at this point, and neither did she, so I yelled from the porch that she could leave the food by the mailbox, and that is where the fun started. "Is that your dog?" My bullshit meter didn't go off. I thought she was asking a question with an obvious answer because duh, she was a dog person, so I engaged with dog owner gushiness. "Yes, his name is XYZ. Wanna say hi? I'll be nice because you brought my food." But she just stood there awkwardly for a moment, put the food down and quickly jumped back into her car. In my mind I was like, okay weird, but whatever. Snatched the food and went back inside. Went to wash my hands, and from the kitchen window, I can see the full street where she is still parked outside. Thinking, okay weird, again, but didn't dwell on it too much, figuring that she was looking at the road to her next location. I went about my business of preparing to destroy my meal. A few minutes later, the dog begins barking manically at the door. I take a glance at the cameras and realize she is still out front, parked directly in front of my mailbox. Okay? What's going on here? I go outside and try to get her attention, but she is on the phone and doesn't notice me. I walk up like I'm going to check the mail, and she does pull off, but towards the back of the neighborhood that only has one way in and one way out. Lots of people make that mistake, and so you'll quickly see cars turning back around, but she never came back. By this time, I think I'm losing my mind, so I go back in, but still watching the street for the car to pass. It never does. I don't know. People are weird, so I just left it at that and went back to eat. About 10 minutes later, the dog starts going ham at the door, so I check cameras to see two police cars sitting outside my house. I continue to watch the cameras, realizing that, yep, the cops are getting out of the car and walking back and forth in front of my and my neighbor's yards. I go out to see if anything is wrong, and they introduce themselves before saying they were called because a stolen golden retriever was reported at my address, and if there was a dog in the home. It clicked that the driver had called the police, and then explained my version of what happened. They were really respectful and apologetic, but asked if I could get Sir Pup. I went ahead and opened the door for the dog, who took off, ready to greet the new faces outside. His collar has tags matching the address with my name and phone number on it, in case he was ever lost or stolen, which was proof enough for them, as it was obvious that they wanted to get this over as fast as possible. No hard feelings on either side. We were all walking away when driver's car slowly comes creeping from the back of the neighborhood. I yelled out to them that the lady was right there, and they positioned themselves in front of her car in a way she would have to stop and speak with them. I don't know if this lady was drunk or off her meds, but she rolled down the window and was literally sobbing hysterically that she saw me take the dog from the neighbor's yard, that animals get no justice, and the icing on the cake. My kind only owns pit bulls and Rottweilers. There was no way he was mine and needed to be protected. I honestly did not want to deal with that mess, so sorry guys, this isn't a tale of revenge. I went back inside and stayed the fug on my couch. My day was already shitty. Everyone left a few minutes after that, so I assumed she got a warning. However, I did report the incident to the delivery service and was offered credits towards my next meal. I splurged that on a bakery, and now I'm currently fugging up a slice of carrot cake. Grateful it didn't end worse.